Her fingertips grazed the inside of my forearm, barely a touch, the kind you could call accidental if you were still pretending. But the air snapped tight around us, and my lungs forgot what they were doing. I'd only meant to help her out of a bind. That was the deal, nothing else. Yet there she was, close enough that the streetlight through the blinds painted gold across her cheekbones, whispering, "We'll need to rehearse this, you know. No one's going to believe it if we look like strangers." Her voice brushed my skin warmer than breath should ever feel. I should have joked, should have widened the gap between us. Instead, I stood frozen, while something ancient and reckless woke up inside my chest. She smiled, small, deliberate, daring me to look away first. Then she stepped in until the rest of the world smeared into soft focus behind her. "Practice," I echoed, voice rougher than I meant it to be. She tilted her head, amusement and something gentler flickering across her face. She murmured, "You're already shaking. How are you going to survive when the whole room is watching?" I managed half a laugh. "You're not exactly easy to stand beside." Something warm broke open in her eyes. Without a word, she crossed to the couch and sat, leaving exactly enough space for a decision, not enough for safety. I took it. Our shoulders touched, light, electric. "Tell me," she said quietly, "when we walk in together tomorrow night, my hand on your arm, your eyes on me like they are right now, what will people see?" I didn't have to think. "They'll see a man who's already lost." Her breath caught, tiny and sharp, the sound of a secret slipping. She looked down at the cushion between us, fingers twisting the fabric, then back up. "You can't say things like that." "Why?" Because it stops feeling like pretend." My heart slammed once against my ribs, hard enough to hurt. I asked her, "Is pretending what scares you, or the chance it never was?" She closed her eyes. When she opened them again, they were glassy, unguarded. "Both." Her knee brushed mine and stayed there. Neither of us moved. The room shrank until the only thing left was the inch of charged air between our lips. "Don't," she whispered, but her gaze dropped to my mouth and stayed. My hand rose on its own, hovering near her cheek. "If I touch you now," I said, voice barely sound, "we don't get to take it back." "I know. That's why I'm asking you not to." I let my hand fall. The effort burned. Silence roared. Then the rain started, soft at first, then steady, drumming the windows like it wanted in on whatever we were becoming.
She moved to the glass, arms folded under her chest, watching silver rivers race each other down the pane. I watched her reflection instead. Quiet, uncertain, heartbreakingly beautiful. "You're quiet," I said. "I'm trying not to feel everything at once," she answered without turning. "How's that going?" A broken laugh. Miserably. I crossed the room slowly, giving her every chance to stop me. She didn't. One step, two. The space between us thinned to nothing but breath and want. "Tell me to stop," I whispered. She shook her head, the smallest motion. I've told myself that too many times. Her hands found the front of my shirt, not pulling, just resting, anchoring. I felt her tremble. I felt myself tremble back. Forehead to forehead first, a soft collision that stole the air from my lungs, then fingers sliding together like they'd done this 1,000 times in dreams. We didn't kiss. Not yet. We just breathed the same small space until there was no room left for fear. When her lips finally grazed the corner of my mouth, barely there, asking, I answered by turning into her, slow and inevitable. The kiss was quiet, reverent, the kind that feels like coming home after years of being lost. The rain wrapped the night around us and refused to let go.
Morning arrived pale and careful, slipping through the curtains like it was afraid to wake us. She was already sitting up when my eyes opened, knees drawn to her chest, wrapped in the throw blanket we'd pulled over ourselves sometime before dawn. The light caught the faint redness around her eyes and made her look impossibly young. "Hey," I said, voice still thick with sleep. She offered a fragile smile. "Morning." The quiet that followed wasn't empty. It was full of everything we'd done and everything we hadn't said yet. "I didn't mean to fall asleep here," she murmured. "I didn't fall asleep here? We just stopped pretending we wanted to be anywhere else." Her gaze flickered to mine, then away. "Last night, I don't regret it. I just don't know what box to put it in." "You don't need a box yet." She nodded, but the uncertainty stayed. "I've spent years telling myself I'm safer alone. And then you make me feel like I opened a door I forgot was even there." A knock cracked through the apartment, sharp, impatient. She rose like someone walking to her own execution, cracked the door just enough to see. A man's voice, low and familiar, slid through the gap. "You haven't answered my calls in 2 days, Liv. We're not finished." Her knuckles went white on the doorframe. She glanced back at me, eyes wide and suddenly glassy. "Stay," she whispered. "Please." Then she slipped outside and pulled the door shut behind her. Minutes bled past. I sat in the half-lit room, listening to muffled voices rise and fall, unable to make out words, only the shape of old hurt. When the door opened again, she looked smaller, but not broken. Tempered, like steel pulled fresh from fire. She closed it softly and leaned her back against it, breathing once, twice, steadying. "He's not what you think," she said before I could ask. "Just someone who never learned how to let go." "And you?" My voice stayed gentle. "Have you let go?" She crossed the room in 4 slow steps. "I'm trying. Last night helped." A pause. "This morning is harder." I stood, but kept the distance. She noticed, and something in her shoulders eased. "You stayed," she said, wonder threading her voice, "even after you hurt him. I'm not running unless you tell me to." Her eyes filled, but she blinked it back. "I don't want to pretend anymore, Eli. Not with you." The space between us vanished. I cupped her face carefully, like she might still dissolve. She leaned into my palm the way flowers turn toward sunlight. "I woke up," she whispered against my skin, "and for the first time in years, I didn't want to build the walls back up. That terrifies me, and it feels like breathing." I brushed my lips across her forehead, soft, steady, a vow without deadline. "Then breathe," I told her. "We'll figure the rest out one morning at a time." Outside, the clouds broke open, and real light poured in, washing the room gold. She smiled, small, real, unafraid, and laced her fingers through mine. No more rehearsals, no more safe distance. Just us, choosing the beautiful, messy truth of forward.